Do you think presidents should be immune from prosecution for things they did in office?
He hasn't been convicted of anything.
Hi, Kasparian. I think you're the cutest. I love you.
I'm sorry.
No, whatever.
Yeah.
There is a lot to unpack in that video, Cenk. Apparently, a member of Maga loves me, thinks I'm cute. That guy not so amused by it. Whatever.
Yeah, but the Trump fan that Michael was interviewing speaks for the country. Whatever.
Does he?
No, I'm kidding.
But while I got a little bit of love there, Cenk, a different MAGA supporter at the same rally had some choice words for you.
Well, what would you say was racist about Cenk? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Cenk. Yes, absolutely. I just realized that he's not like pro-America. He's pro his policies, and he has this like superiority that doesn't benefit all Americans. So when you see like these regular, everyday Trump supporters, whatever, the majority of these people are people that make less than $50,000 a year. So these aren't like racists that are holding anyone back or holding the system down or whatever. These are everyday people that are getting up, working 60 hours a week, trying to put food on the table. Right now, what's going on in America in the last 4 years or 3 years or whatever, groceries have doubled. Rent has doubled. So even for the people that are living in the backwoods in the country, living modestly right now, they're struggling while their jobs are continuing to be exported overseas. So right now across America, we have all this shortage of housing because we don't want low-income housing, we don't want apartments, etc. People like your host, Cenk, are very against that, when he lives in this elitist neighborhoods.
Breaking news, Cenk Uygur declared a NIMBY.
Yeah, well, not exactly. I was declared a racist though. The reason Michael asked that question is because he said in the beginning, hey, that's Cirque or Cenk or whatever, he's a racist. So Michael's like, how is Cenk a racist? So let's break it down. So number one, he said, I'm not pro-America, he's pro his policies. Am I supposed to be pro someone else's policies? Isn't that kind of how things work, that you're pro your policies? Doesn't that also mean you're pro-American because you believe in freedom and the right to believe whatever you want? So is he racist because he's pro his policies? A lot of mainstream media don't give you honest news. We do, you know why? Because of you. Paid membership on YouTube makes all the difference. Hit the join button below and you become the hero that sustains us.
I understand what he's trying to say. He didn't quite get there with the way that he said it, right? But I think what he's referring to, no, not at all. But I know what he was referring to because he immediately jumped to the reason why he supports MAGA, right? And I think what he was trying to say is, look, as a black voter, people feel that we as black people are obligated to vote for the Democrat. And I know that that's something that really bothers conservative African Americans in the country who usually vote for a more conservative candidate as opposed to the Democrat. And I've seen like a lot of comments toward them you don't do this, but I've seen a lot of comments from people that are kind of degrading toward black voters who happen to be conservative,
Well, it depends on the situation. So look, the stuff he said after we got past the racism is legit critique of Biden, legit critique of the system. And I bet you if that guy watched the show for a while, he would begin to realize, oh no, these guys are anti-establishment. And so I misunderstood them. And we might still massively disagree on things, and we certainly would, right? But a lot of right-wingers and independents that watch us go, oh, people have been lying about these folks. These guys are like, tons of people on the right assume like, oh, we just blindly support the Democratic Party. That means you've never watched the Minute of the Young Turks, right? So in terms of, he said Cenk thinks he's superior. Why? What does that mean? Like, so the idea, like, there's an irony in what he's saying. You have to be pro my policies in order to be pro-American. And Cenk doesn't understand that my policies are superior. Well, brother, you're doing projection. You're doing the thing that you say that I'm doing. When in reality, there is no show on the left that takes what MAGA is saying more seriously than we do. And we get a lot of heat for that, right?
Oh yeah.
To like, how dare you treat them as human beings and listen to what they're saying and see if they make any sense at all. So if you're new to us and now you're a Democrat and you're starting to worry, wait, are they pro-MAGA? No, guys. you can actually listen to people who are who's on the other side politically and go, hey, I wonder what makes them tick.
Right,
I wonder what drives them. Why are they so angry? So the rest of the media and the Democratic Party says, no, don't do that, don't do that. Just shut off your mind and call them all racist, etc. So again, another piece of irony, he's calling me racist, even though they hate the idea of calling other people racist, right? That are MAGA. So we're not in favor of shutting off your mind. There's massive actual issues for average Americans, their income, their standard of living. 40% of the country can't afford a $400 hit to their bottom line. Just $400, it bankrupts them. That's a giant percentage of the country. So we think that the politicians are corrupt. There's a lot that the populist left and the populist right agree on, especially economic issues. Now, if you watch mainstream media, they're like, don't agree with MAGA on anything, otherwise you're racist, sexist, misogynist, etc., etc. But at the same time, we're not sellouts who are like, oh yeah, now we think Republicans and MAGA are awesome. And we think Donald Trump should steal and lie and rob us instead of the corporate Democrats. No, brother. Trump has totally hoodwinked you. He's just as corrupt, if not more corrupt than the Democrats.
Yeah, and look, I personally am at a point in my life where there are some good points made by voters on both sides. And we shouldn't dehumanize or devalue someone who doesn't agree with us or isn't part of our political group or part of our political ideology. We should hear them out if they have important and substantial, substantive things to say. And I think that gentleman, despite what he had to say about you, the heart of his message about the economic anxieties is an important message. And I think it resonates with voters across the political spectrum. And so, look, Michael Shore interviews a lot of different people who attend these MAGA rallies. Some of them, unfortunately, say things that sound unhinged. And to be quite frank, I'm kind of sick of seeing those videos because I don't think that that's representative of everyone in the MAGA movement. And to Michael Shore's credit, he also interviews people who have really interesting things to say.
No, we do a great job with it. And so
that was a perfect example.
No, and I'll tell you something, okay? The world is not binary. It is not black and white. So we show you the MAGA guys who are totally nuts, and I don't mind saying it. My job is to be honest with you guys. We've interviewed, at this point, maybe hundreds of MAGA guys who are on a different planet. They want to murder, some of them want to murder Joe Biden, some of them say, Jesus should rule the country and Trump is Jesus. They say the most lunatic things you've ever imagined, okay? At the same time, we interview MAGA guys who actually are heartbroken over what's happened to this country, and they're not racist or sexist, and they're not crazy, and they're just sick of the corruption and the establishment. They both exist within the MAGA movement. So anyone who tells you they don't, that MAGA's all angels or that they're all devil, are lying to you on purpose to divide you.
Yes, I agree.